Hello everybody. Recently on a post, Nitin Kamath mentioned that he actually suffered a stroke, a mild stroke, and he mentioned a bunch of possible reasons. Could be lack of sleep, overwork, he had some personal loss in his family, and a few other things as well. But there was one sentence in that entire post that caught my personal attention. That is, his doctor told him he should be knowing when to dial it down. And what does this mean? Simply means he needs to know when he needs to take probably a day off, or when he needs to dial down his workload or his gym load, whatever it could be, right? And why is this getting so tricky? For an accomplished individual like him, if it's tricky, yes, it is definitely tricky for a lot of us too. And in this video, I want to talk about why this is the case. Why are we getting into this trap of productivity run? Why are we always pursuing high productivity? And where does this take us towards? And there are three primary symptoms for this. The first one is, of course, individual expectations. That is, what do we expect out of ourselves? The first thing is, whatever we do doesn't really matter. If we are, let's say, going for a run, we want to not just run anymore, we want to actually run a marathon. If you are just trekking, not just a trek anymore. We want to count the number of steps, we want to be a professional trekker, we want to share the records in our WhatsApp groups, so on and so forth. There is a competitive pressure that we are ourselves getting into. It is not about a personal journey anymore. And also on top of it, there are so many habit trackers right now. It is not just about good enough for you to go and pursue a hobby. There are trackers which will tell you how competitive you can become and what you need to do to become that level of individual in that particular space itself. Add on top of it, there is a constant pursuit for increased productivity. And if you want to make every waking minute of our lives productive, so we reduce the time that we allocate towards the total sleep. 4 hours will keep me fresh, so I don't need to sleep more. I'll give you a funny example. When I was working in the consulting world, when we used to go to work early morning 7:30, 3-4 colleagues getting on a cab, early morning, just a casual conversation would very quickly turn into work conversation, so that we don't waste the time even when we are in the commute. These are the productivity traps that we are getting into. When can we ever take a break? Is it really that important? And these are personal expectations out of ourselves so that we become the superheroes that we intend to be. And the second aspect I want to highlight is the societal pressure. Well, societal pressure has always been there, but the social media game is actually turbocharging this entire societal pressure. It was just between your peers, whoever could you talk to, so on and so forth. But now you are connecting virtually with thousands of other people and you are comparing yourself with everybody else out there. And this societal pressure is actually a killer. We are going behind that likes, shares, subscribes, whatever it is. Well, is that really important? The entire aspect of building a personal brand on social media is about showcasing your knowledge, highlighting what you know versus what you don't know, so that it becomes easier for you to pursue a few professional goals. But it need not be about how many likes I'm getting, how many shares I'm getting. Well, if you are an influencer like me, then probably the case could be different. Why? Let me tell you. I've been making content on YouTube for more than 2 years now. And in these 2 years, when the starting set of videos did not gather enough views, so to say, there was never a brand coming to me asking me to share their content as typical sponsorship. But when the views start increasing, that's a validation of success for them. The validation of success is not about how much knowledge I possess. The validation of success is with how many people does it resonate. If you are an influencer, probably these things matter to you and your rate card. But if you are already in a full-time job, trying to increase your salary through promotions, through hikes and upskilling, and if you add on top of this personal branding game, it becomes very tricky. I would never say that, hey, don't go behind this personal brand, but know when to dial it down. It has to be about showcasing the world what you know. That's all. And it takes time. Give that time for yourself. It is not just about pursuing likes, shares, and getting into that loop of giving more content so that you get more of these things. And the third aspect is you are going into that FOMO, fear of missing out. Because there is a societal pressure and your individual expectation. If you are not following this entire herd, there is somewhere that feeling that, hey, I'm missing out and I'm probably not fulfilling my own potential. And hence I need to be productive, so I need to reduce my sleep. This FOMO is once again a killer. Now, what can we do to actually get out of this loop? The first and the most important thing is give yourself some time. Don't be in a rush. Our careers are not a short sprint. Our careers are actually marathons. Now, sitting there, you tell me, how long do you expect to work? How long do you expect to actually do something interesting? Probably another 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, whatever that number might be. So please don't think about what am I getting the next day or the next quarter. This is not a quarterly review, right? Our careers are much longer. The second thing that I want to highlight is stay balanced as much as we can. Now, if you go and draw some parallels on a manufacturing floor, it's extremely difficult to optimize all the parameters at work. There would be some leaks. There would be some inefficient cases. You can't just go behind every single thing and optimize all of the things in one single shot. However, the exact same things happen in our personal front as well. We can't be a marathon runner. At the same time, we can't be a trekker. At the same time, we can't keep going to gym every day. And also, we can't expect a promotion every single year so that we are probably 6 months ahead of our colleague. We can't optimize on all parameters. You need to prioritize which aspects do you want to prioritize. That's it. It's a personal game. The third and the most important thing to conclude this entire video is how and what are the things will make you happy? What are the things that can bring a smile on your face? If it's a run, go have a run, but don't necessarily be on that habit tracker which is continuously pushing you to compete even in running. If it's trekking, just so be it. But don't be on that competitive mode every single day. There are already enough pressures that we are taking on at work. Let the social media or our personal hobbies or extracurriculars be there to only support and actually give that joy to us. Hope this makes sense to you. If there is somebody that you believe could benefit from this, do share it with them. See you again in the next one, guys. Bye-bye.